Good evening and welcome to the Skip Barber Challenge Trophy here tonight from Spa-Francorchamps. Will be a good night, of course. We have a 20-minute race, right followed up by a 40-minute race. And fuel could be crucial. In the end, we have seen that before. Actually, at the grid, we have these drivers now running. Some went into the session right from the last official race, I guess. And so we are good to go very soon. In just a couple of seconds, then we are in the qualifying. So we are ready, it seems. Yup, there it is. The qualifying session is now underway. We have 3 laps for each individual driver, but just a 10-minute time frame. So I guess they will be short on time to get their qualifying laps in. It's a lone qualifying we are having now. So let's see who takes pole for the first 20-minute race. And after that, we are in the configuration of Format 2. We have a 40-minute race. So every week, something different here in the Skip Barber Challenge Trophy. And some people are right now connecting still. So grid is filling up a little bit more. Let's see what Jeff Randall is doing here tonight. Of course, fighting for the pole. Maybe he will be the man also winning the race. Adam Miles, greetings to Adam overseas. But he will be soon back for racing. So I would say Benny, Jeff, yeah, have the best, maybe Dario, of course, have the best chances to get to the pole position. And from pole, of course, on Spa, it isn't a guaranteed win, of course, because, yeah, the draft is pretty heavy on the Camel Straight. And that means everyone can still follow in the tracks of the leader. So let's see what Jeff has up his sleeves here tonight. And then in the break I will spin the wheel for the new format. Still warming because, yeah, of course, it is the classic pit, so we are not starting here as usual, but we are starting, yep, right behind this corner at the old classic starting line. And with basically 7 minutes to go, so yeah, there are 2 laps which can be made here in qualifying. Jeff through Orush and Radillon down the Camel Straight to the first hard braking zone and possible overtaking spot for this race. All down to the curb. Not compromising here the exit, of course, to have a better entry. Holding it tight. Feeding the rear of the car through no name, and now looking quite good, I must say. That's very, very stable from Jeff. All with cold tires. Now that's a little bit tricky here. Yeah, you see the correction of the car. And Jeff now on the run. Of course, all flat out. That could be an off track, I don't know. I'm not quite sure about that. That worked out. But nothing in the session event log. So let's see. What time will it be? Through the chicane. And now for the final corner, La Source. Usually it's T1 here. But this time, of course, with the classic pits, this is the final corner. Cutting down to the inside, and let's push the throttle to the floor of the Skippy with 4 minutes to go. One more lap. Jeff can do. Marcel Brunschwiller already through. What do we got here? Yep, nothing. Nothing for Jeff because there should have been an off track. So Marcel Brunschwiller, here he comes, is at the moment on pole. Not anymore. There's Neil Gardner blasting through Eau Rouge. Now on pole. Let's check out the next one on pole. That's Manuel Lucetta. Lucetta with a good run with a 2:48.590. So he, Neil and Marcel and Anthony Jones are the 4 drivers into the 2:48s. So it will be a tight battle for the pole. And now it's cut over. Benny Simmons. He is now on pole. 3/10 nearly. That's impressive for the first lap. One more to go. Time could run out for Benny to do a second lap, I must say. It's maybe not enough time. 20 seconds missing. That's right, Kyle. Skippy evenings are good evenings. Yes, of course. Let's check out what Chris Wayne is doing. He is running here in P10. Also trying to get a lap in qualifying. He's already on his second lap, but the first one was just a 2:51.770. So it doesn't look too promising from the first lap. This time he's over a second faster. Still 250s. Let's see where he ends up. But the average, yeah, looks like an improvement, but I don't know if that is enough. Marcel Brunschwiller now in P2. Anthony Jones now on pole. Could be Jones's pole by 0.08 of a second. Let's check out where Chris is slotting in with just 58 seconds to go. So Anthony Jones has finished his qualifying, of course. Can't start another lap with under a minute of qualifying time. And let's check out where Benny is, while Chris is going staying in P12. And Manuel Lucetta is now in front of Anthony Jones. Where's Benny? Benny is running here. Oh, on the run to the last corner, to La Source. Will that be enough? 18 seconds. Could be enough. He's 3/10 faster, 4/10 in average. Whoa, very close to the wall, of course. 7 seconds. Pedal to the metal. Should be right enough to get the time in. No! that's brutal. That's brutal. That wasn't enough. So we are now in the gridding phase of the race here. So let's check out what the grid is telling us. We have Manuel Lucetta on P1, on pole. Anthony Jones in P2. Then it's Benny Simonson in P3, Paul Smithhurst in P4, Jeff Randall in P5, Rody van der Meijden in P6, Neil Gardner in P7, Marcel Brunschwiller in P8. P9 Ryan Jackson, P10 Patrick Autorecki, Klaus Biedermann in P11, P12 goes to Stefan Krumbolz, Chris Wayne in P13 and Dario Frattini without a time in P14. So that's our grid here for tonight. Let's, good luck for everyone here in the race. Let's see what the gentleman on track will have installed for the race. So where are we? There are we. We are in Spa-Francorchamps, ready for 2 races now. Race number 1, 20 minutes, 8 laps roughly should it be. And then we have a 40-minute race, a little test of endurance, no mandatory pit stop. Let's go for the first race. And here they go, Barney waving his flag. Everyone trying to slot in here. First time running up that hill. Benny Simonson already in the draft. And here they come, already 3 wide in the front. Trying to go for 4 wide. There is not enough space on the left. Hopefully no crashes. How it is in the back. Looking good. Looking quite fine here. Also way back. So Ryan Jackson in the fight. Cars in front, cars behind. And cars on his inside. Number 4, that's Marcel Brunschwiller going through there. And here they come. Slotting back in. And Lucetta now in P2, the pole setter. Benny Simonson in the lead. Right on his tail is Anthony Jones in P3. So let's hop on board I would say with Paul. Paul in P4. Having the best view on the podium. Oh, slight by Anthony Jones. And also in the back, some tussle going on. And we have somebody who didn't make it. It was Neil Gardner. Let's have a look. What did happen? Ah, slight collision. But he's still running. Way behind now, but he's still running. So all is good. Anthony Jones in P3. And of course, right behind him, the people are following him in the draft, closing in. But also he is taking maybe the position of Benny. Let's hop in the chopper to see this all unfold. A little bit of sliding there, but it did work out. Benny now down from P1 to P4. Nope, to P3. Wheel to wheel with Anthony. And around the outside with no off track and space given between the drivers. Marcel on the attack. Trying to make a move on Jeff. This will be, again, a very tricky moment in the chicane for everyone here in the front. Worked out good. No carnage in the chicane. Now it's Lucetta again in the lead. Trying to take them all with him. Not too close. Frattini with the fastest lap. Oh, somebody's going very wide there. But coming back on track. And here they come again. And Dario pushing through. Dario now in P3. So started without a qualifying lap. Now in P3 goes Dario Frattini. Could slow him down a little bit. course, this is a little problem now. Going 3 wide, maybe, no. Oh, maybe yes. Getting tight there with Lucetta and Brunschwiller. Dario Frattini still defending his 4th place now. Anthony Jones in the lead in front of Benny Simonson and Paul Smithhurst. They have a little bit of a gap now, created by Dario's little mistake. And then, yeah, the aftermath, a little bit of rocking there by Lucetta. Moved over after Brunschwiller made his move. It's not so fine sim racing. Because of the netcode issues, that's always a little bit of, yeah, danger involved. Oh, and we have a spinner. We have a spinner. It's Rody van der Meijden, and he can maybe continue. Let's see what happened. On board with Rody van der Meijden. Getting the hit on the rear and a second one, and then he's standing there right in the middle. Let's have a look again. Who did hit him? Oh, basically he hit the rear of somebody, and then he's stranded for a little bit of time, but makes the turnaround. So let's hop again in the front. Smithhurst now in the lead in front of Jones and Simonson. And behind them, of course, Lucetta leading this trio in front of Brunschwiller and Dario Frattini. Frattini trying to make a move on the inside of Brunschwiller. But he's still there, placing his car very good. But in the end, Dario Frattini is through. They have to, yeah, pick up the pace to get in the slipstream and stay in the slipstream of Lucetta. Patrick Autoricki here in P7 in the battle with Jeff Randall. And behind them, Ryan Jackson and Stefan Krumpholz in P10. Gap is very tight, of course. So the final corner, La Source. Again and again. 5 laps to go at the moment. And on the other hand, 8 minutes 44 to go. So I think the overlay is betraying us again. So who will it be? In the end, Anthony Jones takes the lead in front of Smithhurst Benny Simonson and Manuel Lucetta. But they close in a little bit again. In P5, Munschwiller, followed by Dario Frattini. Saw these 4 cars. Maybe Krumpholz is just waiting for something to happen in front of him. Down in P10. Oh, now closing in. Because now the possibility for him. Go on the attack course. And there's a position for him in the draft. But will it work now? Not only over the hill, but also with a look into the mirror. Krumpholz getting relegated again. Places lost. We got 5 minutes to go. We are in lap 6, so I would say it's just 7 laps and not 8 in the end, but let's see. And that can be crucial in the end for the second race, which is 40 minutes, and there a little bit of fuel gamble may come into play. So Benny is leading again in front of Dario and Marcel. But of course this will be a hot ride again on the Camel Straight. Dario now for the lead. And also Ryan Jackson making basically the same move here. Followed by Krumpholz. So still close racing, and Krumpholz with the move on Jeff, but can't make it happen in the end. So on board with the leader, Dario Frattini, looking back at his hunters for the win. will get spicy now, of course. Brunschwiller shortly in the lead, and then we got a 4 wide. 4 wide on the camel straight. Lucetta pushing through, and here comes Anthony Jones also in the mix, but he's backing out of it. It seems, yes. So it's Lucetta now, leading the race again in front of, who is it? Should be Brunschwiller, having the inside 9 now for the next corner. We have 2 minutes to go. And this is looking very promising for Lucetta, but behind, or not but behind they are battling, so it's good for Lucetta to escape them a little bit. Benny Simerson now clear for P2. But in the end, it will come, of course, down to the last drafting zone, to the chicane, and maybe even La Source. Says 2 laps to go, 1 minute left. So let's see what Barney says when they come around La Source. I have the feeling it could turn into a situation where this is already the final lap, but the overlay is not counting it at that, as that. Oof. Brunschwiller trying to dig in for P3, but Anthony Jones on the better line. And here comes Lucetta in the lead, round the corner. 22 seconds to go. So it looks like we will get another lap. On board with Smithers. What was that? Seems like, yeah. Final lap. White flag. Now for the last time on board with Paul Smithers in this race. Running down the Camel Straight. Here they come. Changing positions. Get to the chopper. And it's Anthony Jones now in the lead, in front of Simonson, Lucetta and P3. Behind them still battling Frattini and Brunschwiller. But seems to work out here, 2 wide. Holding the inside line. There are the trees, of course. And Frattini now with the better end of this story. But it's far from over. A couple of good braking zones to go. What happens behind? Ryan Jackson in P8. Behind him, Krumpholz in P9. So Patrick Autoricki here. The man in P7 leading this battle group at the moment, but will he also do that over the line? Benny Simmons now around the outside. Works like a charm in the Skippy. And now we're going the last time into the chicane. What is Lucetta trying? Trying to make his move. looking... good defense here by Frattini. No, Smithers, sorry. And here in the front we have Benny Simonson in the lead. Now winning the race. Who is second? It is Lucetta in front of Anthony Jones. Super close. Dario Frattini, Marcel Brunschwiller in P5. P6 Smithers. Patrick Otterecki made it to P7, P8. We have Stefan Krumpholz. Of course, everyone crashes here in this league after the line. Of course. Why not? So, we have finished this race and we are now going into our short intermission. Let's have a commercial break and then see what happens after the break. We have a 40-minute race and it will be quite crucial with the fuel. So let's see what everyone is planning. Maybe try to spare some gas to have better lap times, maybe drive in the draft or even lifting. Let's see us back in Spa in a couple of minutes. I go to have a drink. Yes, and we are back and looking at some of the stuff what happened in the first race. We have still 1 minute 40 to go, so let's check out some of the stuff. First lap, Neil Gardner, of course, getting into trouble there. Spinning the car, everyone gets around him. And he could continue the race, but was quite unpleasant to drive there after the first lap behind the whole field. Then we had Rody van der Meijden. I thought he gets the push from behind, but nope. He connects with his nose and then gets a slight push on the rear to spin around, but also he could make the race keep going for him. Then of course we had Rody again. For some reason, totally into the barriers. Didn't see that coming, but maybe a hardware issue. And that basically was the end of everything for him. And yeah, the end of the race, of course. We had a very, very tight battle up to the final turns of the race, with Benny just going ahead in front of the last chicane, round the outside of Blanchimont, still under threat by Lucetta, and then also in the back they're flying in there, Brunschwiller, Frattini, and Benny was clear then to win the race, of course. So that was a tight race, of course. And let's see what happens in the second one with 14 minutes of race time. So double the length, double the fun, and the skippies are good to go now. So everyone is gridding for the second race here at Spa. Of course, we have reverse grid action also going. So after the gridding has commenced, Rody van der Meijden will lead the race. So Dario Frattini is still missing. There he is. And here we go. Rody van der Meijden leading the field away, with Chris Wayne right behind. Of course, clean air for Rody, but that will quickly turn around as the packed field goes the first time in this 40-minute race down the Camel Straight. Hopefully without a crash. And Neil did pull through with his attack. Neil Gardner now in the lead, followed by Klaus Biedermann in P2. Very strong outing by the German. Rody van der Meijden in P3 now, so just lost 2 positions. Quite good for being, yeah, like a duck getting hunted on the straight. Geoff Randall in P4, Chris Wayne now in P6, Ryan Jackson in P5, Paul Smithers also in the mix. Smithers now in P6, Wayne in P7, Krumpholz in P8, Patrick Autoricki P9, Benny Simmons in P10. So let's hop on board with Benny to see what he can do to navigate the traffic, stay safe, and use his opportunities. He knows they will present themselves for him, but of course he has to make it happen without a crash through the traffic. And he knows that the cars in front, of course, are trying to escape him or create at least as much as a gap as they can. But anything can happen, of course, here on track. Oh, and there I said it, there it happens. Into the barriers goes Anthony Jones. Let's have a little replay here. What did happen? Anthony Jones trying to make a move on the inside, I think, of Patrick, and they have a little contact on the outside, and I think Lucetta is gone. Yes, Lucetta and Frattini are gone. Oof. Are we live? Yes, we are. Neil Gardner leading the race in front of Jeff. 3 seconds of a gap. Okay. Something happened there. Let's have a look. Nope. Looking all fine. Just a little bit of off tracks. Now let's follow the run over the Camel Straight. Smithhurst under threat. And here comes Benny Simonson from left to right, gaining 3 positions. Maybe even 4, because Biedermann is now, of course, further in the back. So new order. Got Neil Gardner in front, having good space in front of Benny Simonson by 2.7 seconds. Then comes the rest. Led by Jeff Randall in P3, or Smithers P4, Ryan Jackson P5, P6 Biedermann now, and Stefan Krumpholz in P7, his colleague, and Brunschwiller also in P8. So 3 Ahrtal drivers from a team right behind each other to maybe catapult themselves from the slipstream into the podium region. So Lucetta, Autoricki and Frattini are out. So gap for Neil Gardner looking good, looking promising. Still strong at 2.7 seconds. Shrinking a little, but over the lap it was consistent. And if Benny gets under attack, the gap created by the first lap, or on the first lap, should be quite vital now. Yeah, Jeff Randall takes the second place from Benny. Benny now with the counter attack. And here comes also Ryan Jackson in P4, the blue and white car. So they have shortened the distance a little bit again. To the leader, Neil Gardner. 2 seconds quit now, 1.9 even. So it doesn't look so easy for Neil. Gap was good, but it's coming down, of course, because of the draft situation in the pack. And if they don't really fight, he can't run away, of course. He will be caught in 2 or 3 laps time. So now on board is Jeff Randall. Is he trying a move on Benny? No. I don't think so, because he can stay there Benny can try to close the gap to Neil in P1. So battle for the win is still underway. Here we have, Buchwiller is now in front of Kronholz. Kronholz is now in P8. Here we go again on the Camel Straight in the big draft battle, maybe even a 3 wide. What is Ryan Jackson doing? Nothing. Maybe Paul Smithers is thinking about it. Definitely Simonson going for the move. Chance for Smithhurst again. Paddy still holding on to P2. Of course, nobody wants to risk too much right now. We have still 29 minutes to go. And Neil is through onto P2. And the gap has come down to 1 second. So Neil Gardner in the lead. Still, there is just 1 second of a gap. Jeff Randall with the fastest lap now. So from the nearly 3 seconds of a gap, there's nothing much left, just 2.5 tenths from Neil to Benny. So the battle is on, the battle for the win. Now the Skippy looks good down Pupon. They stick tight but well planned together. Nothing is happening regarding crashes right now. Everyone settled in their respective place and battle. Now it's like lurking for the error of the competitor. Wait and see, play the game till the end. If you are in the draft, then you have the possibilities. So don't risk too much in the beginning. Benny Simmons now in the lead. But not for long, of course. From P1 down to P4 again. Benny now in P4. So from P1 to P4, just down the camel straight and a couple of corners. But of course, this is far from over, so we don't need to over-dramatize that. Benny has all the chances to win the race again. We have still 24 minutes to go. Good evening, Sleepy Cat Racing. And good evening, Adam Miles, of course. Good you're here. So not much drama at the moment going on, more tactical games. Drivers settled in the slots and battling where it is necessary. But still not too much. We have some laps to go. But of course, drivers in the lead. Jeff Randall, Paul Smithers in P2, Neil Gardner in P3 after the start on reverse pole. Benny now in P4. Maybe he will end up in P1 at the end of the camel straight. Let's have a look. First draft by Neil. Neil going to the inside of Paul and Jeff and push it through. So it's just Benny staying in P4, also lifted a little bit at the beginning of the straight. So for the moment he stays, but also has to look into his mirror for Ryan Jackson in P5. Maybe he's also trying that. So this is the top 5 at the moment, fighting for the win. And of course, Wunschwiller and Krumpholz duking it out for P7. And Chris Wayne and Anthony Jones in the battle for P9. And basically that's it. Rody van der Meijden, after his incident, is trying to catch up, but is 6.8 seconds behind. So let's head again to the leaders. Here he comes already. Paul Smithers now in the lead of the race. But round the outside into the chicane comes Neil Gardner. Looking quite good for him again. Making the move. Making it safe and stick. This time we have another situation, of course. Let's hop aboard with Ryan Jackson in P5. That is looking quite promising for Ryan. Now slightly in P4 and Paul slotted in behind him. So it's Benny leading in front of Jeff and Neil. Then Ryan Jackson now in P4. Do we have here? It's Krumpholz. Oh, and Biedermann had a little problem there, it seems. Now in the middle of the track and slotted in behind his teammate. Okay. Yeah, big mistake for Klaus, of course. But yeah, stuff happens. So it's Krumpholz now in P6, followed by his colleagues and teammates. Far from over here with Anthony Jones in the mix. Getting by Wunschwiller and maybe also getting by Krumpholz round the outside, Blanchimont. So Anthony Jones now in front of the three teammates in P6, Wunschwiller in P7. But they will try to hunt him down again on the camel straight. So let's have a look at the leaders. Here they come. It's Ryan Jackson trying to make the move already. Going to the outside for the next corner. Jeff Randall plowing through. Behind them also Smithers and Gardner. Gardner goes through into P4. And it looks like, yeah, Jeff has cleaned it. Is now leading the race. But for him, yeah, will be again a duck hunt, of course, when he's sitting there in P1. But it's a race for the win, of course. So everyone will try what he can to be in the right position for the last lap, to snuck away the win from the then leader, like Benny did it in the last race. With the move at the end of the final lap. So 15 minutes to go. So I think it won't be 15 laps, it will be 14 laps, but let's see when they will cross the line. So Ryan Jackson now having the honor to lead the field up the hill, up Radillon and Eau Rouge, then down the Cabin Straight. That's how it goes. Ryan Jackson now down to P4 maybe, yes. Because Neil is positioning his car brilliantly on the inside curb, but they have a better run around the outside. So it's Jackson staying in P3. How is it in the back? There we have Brunschwiller in P6, running away from Anthony Jones, who is followed by Kronpolz and Biedermann. And also pressured now down Puchon in a too-wide situation. But tires are warm now, so it isn't so dangerous. Still there's enough space. Oh. Yeah, trying to get his car again into the small gap. But it stays ahead. So Jeff Randall, back to him again, in running P2. Behind Benny Simmons. Jeff through the chicane. And into the last corner now. Having a good run from the beginning. Also very important. Because now it's flat out. Still the end of the straight. Chef Rebel seems not to be in trouble. Having good draft from the leaders, but further back, a little bit further back, it looks quite interesting. Anthony Jones now in front again of Marcel Brunschwiller. Still also looking good for Krumpholz. Still behind, but in a good run. With the draft of the cars in front. Benny stays in P2 at the moment. We have 10 minutes exactly to go. Maybe somebody did underfuel, calling for trouble. So this is of course now again the opportunity for everyone running behind Jeff Randall. But the gaps are getting a little bit wider at the moment. Oh, Jackson. Be careful to not hit the rear wheel of the car in front. But of course, Benny Simonson leads the field at the moment. We have 8 minutes to go. So here we go with Brunschwiller, trying to make his attack on Anthony Jones in front. It doesn't look like an attack right now. How is it in the last chicane? Is there an opportunity for Neil Gardner? And I think if he can't get it done, a test of skill in the last lap and maybe even in the last corner. So behind Neil, still Smithers, 2/10. Now he's closing in on Jeff Randall. Oh, he thought for using a little bit of grass. But pulled out, and so it's not a position gain, it's a position lost for Smithers. And what do we have here? Biedermann overtaking Anthony Jones. But this will be a battle till the finish lane, of course. And Benny again. 2/10 behind the leader, 2/10 behind Ryan Jackson at the moment. But also behind him. There's still all the cars chasing him, and yeah, the leader Jackson. I mean, everyone has the chance to win the race in this situation with 4 minutes to go. So let's see when they come over the line. Jackson struggling there on the outside. And here we go into the last chicane. Yep, that worked out good. And Benny now in P3. And also the battle group behind is still packed together. Anthony Jones now in the lead. As I said, 3 laps to go, and oh, somebody went into the pits, so he needs some fuel, Ryan Jackson. What a drama again. I don't think his incident points are full. Could be, but I don't know. Nope, he's fueling, and he's even changing tires. Changing tires. Oh. Also changing rear. Yep. Okay, full service. Maybe he quitted that because it now stopped and he went down. So yeah, Ryan Jackson now in P10 at the end of the field. Let's hop to the top 4. So from 5 to 4. So I think there wasn't enough fuel involved. Maybe should have saved some more behind the other cars then. Marcel trying again and again to get into a good position for the attack on Anthony Jones. For his P5. But this time maybe on the inside of Anthony Jones, out of the slipstream. Looking good for him at the moment now in P5. So, anyone else driving into the pits? So it's lap 14. And this is the final lap. Yeah. Really in lap 15. The final lap now for this race. Let's go. Smithers in P4 and at the front. It's Jeff Randall taking the lead. As I know, far from over, but Jeff Randall in the lead in front of Benny Simonson and Neil Gardner in P3. Also, Anthony Jones and Stefan Krumpholz are now duking it out. And Anthony is in the middle of 3 teammates. So will be tough. Benny Simonson on the hunt for Jeff Randall for the victory. Seems he tries to make the same move as in the first race. Simonson now with a good run around the outside, Blanchimont. And here they come, last time into the chicane for tonight. Maybe even 3 wide contact is made! Maybe a little bit of net code involved. And Benny Simonson still got some of the impact, but is through. There's Paul Smithers in P2. P3 Neil Gardner, Anthony Jones in P4. Here comes Krumpholz in P5. Oh, that's far from over. It's maybe a move by Biedermann on the inside. Nope. Gets out again. So Benny Simonson takes the win, takes the checkered flag first in front of Paul Smithers. Neil Gardner in P3. Anthony Jones in P4. And then we have the 3 Ahrtal drivers. P5. Krumpholz, P6. Unschwiller P7, Biedermann. Jeff Randall now down to P8. And Rody van der Meyden here in P9. Ryan Jackson after his pit stop in P10 coming now over the line. Let's have a look at the situation of Jeff Randall and co. So here's Jeff in the middle and gets a net Cody. And then he spins. Yeah, unfortunate. Neil Gardner can go through, and here's the rest of the field overtaking him, but basically battling with each other at that point. So there was no big situation where this played a role in the outcome of the race. So basically pretty clean race. up the final chicane. And from my perspective, that was a net code, but yeah, we will see what the stewards are saying to that. If you want to join into the Skip Barber Challenge Trophy, you can still do that. Join the Discord, join the races, because only Skippy Racing is real racing. Let's check out for some interviews after a little break. So let's hop into the chat box because yeah, there are Jeff and Rody. Let's see what they are talking about and let's have maybe a little interview. Good
Almost
evening.
there.
You're on stream right now, and I would like to start with Jeff if he wants to say something about the race.
Uh, what to say, Seb? What to say?
Yeah, what to say? Let's
Oh,
start with the bad stuff. Maybe the crash in the final chicane. From my perspective, it looked a little bit netcodey at first contact.
yeah, I think it was netcode. Neil's just having a look on his stream now, and yeah, I think it was a little bit of netcode, but um, it's just a shame it happened at the end of a 40-minute race. You know,
Yes, 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 yes.
it'd be nice if we could have all got round clean, and but there you go. That's racing.
Yeah, of course, it happens. But it, yeah, was the race we all expected. Much draft, fight till the end, till the last lap, maybe even till La Source, which is in this case, in this layout, the final corner. Yeah, it happened what happened. So, yeah, maybe we move on from that, but still some good
Yes, most
points.
definitely.
Yeah.
Moving on is the best plan.
Yeah.
I don't know where we are next week, but yeah, hopefully it won't be
Uh,
quite such a draft fest.
well, it's the Skippies, so, and with the current, um, how is it called? With the current calendar, there are many, many draft tracks, of course, and we got Interlagos next week.
Ah, Interlagos.
So
Okie
basically,
dokie.
it's just draft. It's nothing else.
Oh, it's fun. I loved it. I loved Interlagos last time. I think that should be good fun.
Yeah, it will be good. It's a good, also a
Yeah,
good track for Skippy Racing, of course.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It'll
and
be fun track.
Rody just left, so I wanted to ask him about his incident, but yeah,
Maybe he read your mind and thought, I don't want to be talking about
yeah.
that. So yeah,
On the
he
other
thought
hand,
let's be out of
I'm
here.
very interesting what Ryan Jackson did. If he did not change his setup, so not
Um,
put the proper fuel in.
Yeah, he had to splash and dash on the second to last lap, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He did. Ah, I wondered where he went. Um, yeah, I guess it was just a fuel issue.
Yeah, I heard just heard the siren from the pit entry, and I was like, oh, somebody's going into the pits. And
Who's
it
that?
was yeah, Ryan Jackson.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Poor old Ryan. Never mind.
What do you think? Why was not so much going on tonight from the driver's side? Is something special going on, which I don't know,
I don't know. I
like
don't
Premier
know.
League stuff, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really keep up to speed with any of that stuff. So
Or did the jungle
um,
camp started?
I, I just keep myself in bubble Skippy,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's me.
it's more a bubble wrap, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always feel comfy in the skippies. Yeah,
hmm
so yeah, I would call it a day now, but I have still one thing to do, which I nearly forgot. Let's do the spinning of the wheel.
Oh, go for
Let's
it.
see
Spin that wheel.
what will happen next week. So there's the wheel on stream. Let's hit it. Of
This was
course, only format
number
1,
two.
3, and 4 are in. And we got, looks like 4. It's 4.
Ah, now is that an endurance?
That is an endurance, as far as I know. I check again
Ah,
into the stickies. It's format 4. It's endurance. 60 minutes of Interlagos. 2 pit stops.
lovely,
Wow.
lovely.
It's pretty interesting, of course, because of all the drafting opportunities and fuel saving opportunities.
Yeah,
So I don't know if Chris is changing that, but that's what the wheel says. So yeah,
excellent. That should be fun.
should be, should be. I hope we will have some more cast then. And yeah, and we will speak again, I think, on Monday
Brilliant. Look
when we
forward to that.
race Spa again and again
Yes.
and again.
Great stuff, Seb. Thanks again for everything you're doing here.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night, Jeff. Goodbye.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
So that's it. That was the Skip Barber Challenge Trophy. For next week, we have format number 4, 60-minute endurance, 2 mandatory pit stops, limited fuel tank. So, yeah, that's it from me. Congrats to the winner, Benny, and of course to everyone involved here. And thanks to Chris for having me as your broadcaster. And yeah, see you on Sunday for the Skippy Super Split and on Monday for the German Skippy Cup then again on Spar. Until next time, goodbye.